I remember the day I started working for my boss, Mr. Obina. I was just 18, a young boy full of hope. I had come from my village to the city with nothing but the promise of a better life. Mr. Obina owned a small electronics shop and I was brought in as an apprentice. I knew nothing about the business, but I was willing to learn. For the next 8 years, I worked tirelessly for him. From morning till night, I was in the shop, handling customers, cleaning, loading goods, and doing everything he asked. My boss promised that after learning the trade, he will settle me. Settling means he will give me money and goods to start my own business. This is a common practice for apprentices in Nigeria. I trusted him, thinking my future was secure. After 8 years of hard work, I knew every part of the business. I managed the accounts, negotiated with suppliers, and even brought in more customers than Mr. Obina could have imagined. The shop grew because of my dedication, but I was still treated like a servant. Whenever I asked about when I would be settled, Mr. Obina always had one excuse or another. Next year, he would say, or business is slow right now, my boy. You have to be patient. One day, I finally confronted him. Oga, it's been 8 years. You promised to settle me. I have done everything you asked. But his response shocked me. He laughed and said, who told you I will settle you? You are lucky you even have a place to sleep and food to eat. If you are not satisfied, you can leave. That night, I packed my bags and left his house. I had nothing, no money, no savings, not even a place to stay. I was devastated. I thought my life has come to an end. But deep inside, I knew I wouldn't give up. I found a small church nearby and slept there for a few days while trying to figure out my next move. A few weeks later, I ran into an old friend from the village, Chike. He had started a small electronic business and was doing quite well. When I explained my situation, he offered me a little space in his shop to help out. In return, I would get a small percentage of the profit. I didn't hesitate. I worked even harder than I did for Mr. Obina, and slowly but surely I saved up. Within a year, I had saved enough to open my own small shop. I started with just a few goods, but my reputation as a trustworthy person brought customers to me. Business grew quickly, and before long, I expanded my shop. I never forgot the lessons I learned during my 8 years with Mr. Obina. But now, I was the one calling the shots. Meanwhile, Mr. Obina's business started to decline. Word spread about how he treated me, and many people refused to deal with him. Customers who used to go to his shop began coming to mine. His workers also left one by one after seeing how I was succeeding on my own. Eventually, his shop closed down. Years later, I had become very successful with several shops across the state. One day, as I was in my shop, I received a visitor. To my surprise, it was Mr. Obina. He looked much older, his clothes worn out, and his face tired. He had come to beg for help. His words were full of regret. I should have settled you, he said. I made a mistake. Please forgive me. I looked at him, the man who once laughed at me, and now he is here asking for my help. I couldn't help but feel sorry for him. But I remembered how he treated me when I needed him the most. I gave him a little money to survive, but nothing more. It was clear that karma has caught up with him. Today, I am a wealthy businessman, far richer than Mr. Obina ever was. But more importantly, I have learned that success doesn't just come from hard work, it comes from treating people well. What you give to others will come back to you, whether good or bad. I hope you did enjoy this story because we have come to the end of this story. For my returning subscribers, a big thank you. And this is your first time of joining us. You're highly welcome. Welcome, welcome. Please don't forget to click on the subscribe button, turn on your bell button to get latest updates. And please do well to share this video with your friends and your family.